Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something maybe a bit different, not just what you eat, but how you eat it together.
That's right.
We're exploring food combinations, digestion, and how some basic compatibility rules might seriously boost your energy and long-term health. We've got quite a bit of research here on optimizing digestion. Let's get into it.
Okay. So our mission today really is to get past just the usual diet advice. We want to give you some solid foundational knowledge.
Functional knowledge.
Exactly, functional. So by the end of this, you should feel equipped to tweak your own menus, aiming for 3 big wins: better digestive efficiency, getting more out of the nutrients you eat, and, crucially, managing your glycemic index. That last one's key for overall health.
Right. So let's start with the basics. Food compatibility. Most of us, myself included, probably think more about taste, maybe convenience.
Sure, yeah.
But these sources seem to argue that convenience often clashes with, our internal chemistry. Certain pairings just don't work well together. They actually hinder digestion.
That's precisely it. Digestion isn't random. It needs specific timing, specific enzymes, often tied to pH levels.
pH, okay.
Yeah. And when you throw incompatible foods in together, they can kind of neutralize the environment needed for one or the other. The whole process slows right down. That's often why you get that post-meal fog or heaviness.
Okay, that makes sense. So give us these surprising culprits. What are some common combinations that are basically, fighting each other in our stomachs?
Well, starting with proteins, it's interesting. The sources flag eating, say, fish and meat in the same meal.
Really? Both protein, but...
Yeah, but different types of animal protein. Concentrating them like that apparently makes the digestive system sort of compromise on releasing the right enzymes and acids. It slows the whole absorption process down significantly.
Wow. Okay, that's one. We're definitely challenging some cultural norms there. What about those classic meals that kind of ruin your afternoon energy?
Yes. Probably the biggest one, especially in Western diets, is mixing meat with heavy starches. Think meat and potatoes, or meat and pasta.
Spaghetti bolognese. The classic.
Exactly. Think about it. When you chew bolognese, amylase in your saliva starts breaking down the starch in a higher pH, more alkaline environment.
Right.
But then it hits your stomach, which needs to get really acidic, releasing pepsin for the meat protein. So you got this clash. The acid needed for the meat hinders the enzyme for the starch, and the conditions for the starch dilute the acid for the protein.
A sort of digestive standstill.
Pretty much. And the sources specifically mention this combo often leads to that really profound intestinal heaviness people feel.
Okay, the why is much clearer now. So if those are incompatible, what pairings actually work together? What promotes that harmony?
You want things that support the process, or at least don't hinder each other. The simplest and probably most beneficial is pairing your animal protein, meat, or fish with vegetables.
Good.
Like a big salad at lunchtime, maybe some cooked vegetables in the evening. The fiber in the veg helps keep things moving smoothly, too.
That's straightforward. I like that. Any simple, kitchen hacks for the protein part?
Yeah, there's a great one, actually. Pairing animal protein with cooked or sautéed onion.
Onion.
The compounds in the onion actually seem to help facilitate the digestion of the animal protein itself. It's a simple swap, add some onions when you cook your steak or chicken, and it could make a real difference.
That's a fantastic tip. Easy too. What about getting more advanced, protecting the stomach lining?
For that, the sources bring up using algae as a supplement.
Algae. Interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, algae can help stimulate the production of the stomach's natural protective mucus layer. That's really important because, like we said, the stomach needs to be very acidic for protein, and that mucus layer is what defends the stomach lining from that acidity.
Okay, so moving beyond just compatibility, you mentioned function.
Right. Optimal combining has 2 main goals. First, making sure each food type can actually do its job effectively potentiating its function. And second, regulating the glycemic index.
Glycemic index, we hear that a lot. Why is it so central here?
It's fundamental, seriously. Keeping your blood sugar stable is the bedrock for controlling weight, yes, but also for avoiding that low-grade chronic subclinical inflammation and really fostering good physical, mental, and emotional health long-term.
Okay, so to hit those goals, we need to understand what jobs our food actually does. The sources lay out 3 essential functions, right?
Yeah.
And getting this wrong leads to what you call the cost of misuse.
That's it, exactly. First, there's the energetic function. This is your carbs and fats. They're the fuel, the combustible stuff, providing the raw energy for everything, basic bodily functions, daily activities, even digesting the food itself.
Got it. Fuel. Then,
Then you have the structural function. Think of these as the building blocks, the bricks. This is mainly protein. It's what your body uses to build and repair everything: bones, muscles, hair, skin, nails, you name it.
bricks.
Okay.
And the third.
And finally, arguably the most complex, the regulatory function. These foods build the tools your body needs for every process. We're talking enzymes, coenzymes, neurotransmitters. That's the chemical language between your brain cells, and antibodies for your immune system. Really crucial stuff.
Okay, energetic, structural, regulatory.
Mhm.
So where does the misuse come in? What's the cost? What happens if we, say, make our bricks, the proteins, do the fuel job?
Right. That's the core problem. The sources use a really good analogy for this. Imagine you need energy, like for a bonfire, and you decide to use tires.
Tires, okay.
Tires are complex, valuable material, right? Meant for a specific structural job. If you burn them for energy, well, you get energy, sure, but you've completely misused that valuable material. It wasn't meant for that.
And you're left with a mess.
Exactly. You've wasted the potential of the tires, and the burning process leaves behind a lot of nasty stuff, toxic residues. In the body, when you force proteins, structural regulatory material, to be burned primarily for energy because you haven't supplied enough carbs and fats, fuel.
They can't do their building and regulating jobs.
Precisely. They're not available to build muscle or make enzymes or repair skin, and the metabolic combustion of protein for energy is less clean. It leaves behind more metabolic waste, those toxins and residues the sources mention.
Which contributes to that low-level stress, the inflammation.
Directly. So the big takeaway here is crucial. We need to use our energy foods, carbs and fats, to fuel everything, including digestion itself. This spares our vital proteins to do their essential structural and regulatory work. Don't burn the tires.
Don't burn the tires. Got it. That really clarifies the why. Okay, so to tie all this together, covering energy needs, structural needs, minimizing waste, the sources propose what they call the golden rule.
Yes, the golden rule. This is really the practical bedrock. It's simple. In every single meal, not just lunch and dinner, but breakfast and snacks too, you need to include a good source of protein, P, a good source of carbohydrate, C, and a good source of fat, F.
P plus C plus F.
Yeah.
Every time. That's refreshingly simple. You mentioned stable blood sugar before. For the listener just wanting better energy through the day, what's the biggest issue with unstable blood sugar that P plus C plus F solves right away?
It's that crash, isn't it? When you eat a meal that's mostly carbs, maybe low fat, low protein, your blood sugar spikes up really fast.
Right, the sugar rush?
Yeah. And then your body overreacts, releases a flood of insulin to bring it down, and often brings it down too low. That's the crash. Suddenly you're tired, irritable, maybe foggy, and craving more quick energy, more sugar. It's a cycle.
Okay, so the protein and fat and the P plus C plus F combo act like brakes.
Exactly. They slow down how quickly the glucose from the carbohydrates enters your bloodstream. It's a much smoother, more gradual rise and fall. No dramatic spike, no dramatic crash.
So the benefits aren't just like long-term health theory. They're immediate functional gains.
Yeah.
Better energy today.
Absolutely. It's systemic. You ensure you've got fuel for digestion and everything else. You provide the building blocks. And crucially, this specific P plus C plus F combo keeps that glycemic index nice and steady. And that stability translates directly to easier weight management, less inflammation, and just a better, more stable state of physical, mental, and even emotional health day to day.
Okay, let's make this super practical. Applying the golden rule.
Yeah.
Where do people usually mess this up?
Breakfast. The sources consistently point to breakfast as often being the most structurally deficient meal. It leans way too heavily on what they call farinaceous carbohydrates.
Farinaceous carbs, like refined flour stuff, right? Like biscuits, pastries, most boxed cereal.
Exactly. Lots of quick carbs, often sugary, not much protein or healthy fat. So how do we inject P and F into breakfast?
Yeah, what are some actual examples?
Okay, if you like a sweet start, maybe swap your typical cereal for muesli. But check the label, or better yet, mix your own. Combine oats, that's your carb, with things like seeds, chia, flax, pumpkin, and nuts, almonds, walnuts. Those provide the fat and protein. Maybe add a few raisins or chopped prunes for sweetness and energy.
Muesli with nuts and seeds. Got it. What about baking?
Homemade cake can actually work. If you make it with wholemeal flour, spelt, or another ancient grain is often tolerated than modern wheat, and use good quality eggs for protein and maybe olive oil or coconut oil for fat, and try sweetening it with, say, mashed banana or broken dried fruit instead of loads of sugar.
Interesting. Okay, what about savory breakfast fans? That seems easier to balance.
Oh, definitely. Savory options often hit the golden rule naturally. Scrambled eggs cooked with some veggies sautéed in olive oil or coconut oil, perfect. P, C, and F right there.
Simple.
Or toast, maybe spelled, or rye bread topped with avocado fat and some fresh cheese or smoked salmon, protein. Or even just smashed avocado with some crushed nuts and seeds sprinkled on top for a plant-based protein boost. Easy.
All right, moving on to the main meals, lunch and dinner. How does P plus C plus F look then?
Pretty similar structure. For your protein, P, choose meat, fish, or eggs. The sources sometimes suggest lighter proteins like fish or eggs might be better in the evening, potentially easier on digestion overnight.
Yeah.
Legumes are great protein too, but maybe better at midday due to their complexity.
Okay, legumes at lunch. Got it. And the carb component.
Primarily vegetables. C. The suggestion is often raw veggies, like a big salad, at midday when digestion might be stronger. Then cooked vegetables, steamed, sautéed, maybe a puree or cream soup in the evening, easier to digest.
And fat, F. We need healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. Any specific tricks for getting those fats in, especially with cooked meals?
Yeah, a really simple, effective trick is adding toasted seeds, sesame, pumpkin, sunflower, whatever you like, to your vegetable soups or purees.
Oh, that's smart.
It really is. It adds great flavor and a nice little crunch, but more importantly, it provides healthy fats, fiber, and vitamins. Plus, it forces you to chew a bit, even with a smooth puree, which helps digestion.
Good point. Okay, quick detour back to legumes at midday. You mentioned protein quality. What does high biological value protein actually mean when we combine legumes with something else?
Right. So high biological value basically means the protein source provides all the essential amino acids, the ones your body can't make itself and has to get from food.
Okay.
Most single plant foods, including legumes, are incomplete. They're missing one or more essential amino acids. But when you combine legumes like lentils or chickpeas with a cereal grain, think quinoa, brown rice, even kamut or spelt.
They complete each other.
Exactly. The combination creates a complete protein profile, giving you that high biological value. You get all the essential amino acids needed for those structural and regulatory jobs we talked about. So lentils and rice, for example. Classic combo for a reason.
Fascinating. Okay, finally, let's tackle snacks. Mid-morning, mid-afternoon, this is where I often fall down. Grab an easy carb, like just a piece of fruit, and then wonder why I'm starving again 40 minutes later.
Oh, absolutely. That's so common. And fruit is healthy. It provides energy, but on its own, it can spike that blood sugar. I used to do the same. Grab an apple, thinking healthy choice. The snack combo is maybe the easiest place to apply the golden rule. Piece of fruit, carb energy, plus a handful of nuts, protein fat.
P plus C plus F again. Okay, give us some concrete examples. Stuff we can keep in a desk drawer or take on the go.
Super simple. An apple with a small handful of almonds, a banana with some walnuts. If you prefer dried fruit, maybe a few dried apricots, dates, or figs, always pair them with nuts. Hazelnuts, cashews, pistachios, whatever you like.
And remind us why that nut combination is so critical with the fruit.
It's the balancing act. The fruit gives you that quick energy boost, yes, but it has a high glycemic impact on its own. The protein, and especially the fat in the nuts, act as that crucial counterbalance, that brake pedal.
Slows down the sugar absorption.
Precisely. It slows the whole process down, leading to much more stable blood sugar, much more stable energy. It prevents that rebound hunger and keeps you feeling steady and satisfied for hours, not minutes. It's a game changer for avoiding unnecessary weight gain from snacking, too.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
So putting it all together, understanding these basic compatibilities, respecting the different jobs food does, and really applying that golden rule, P plus C plus F, across all your meals and snacks, it gives you a really strong, functional foundation for your daily eating habits. It's the base you can build solid health upon.
It really does feel like transformative core knowledge, a foundation, like you said, to start optimizing energy right now. It's important, though, isn't it, to remember this is a general framework, powerful but general.
Absolutely.
If someone's following a very specific dietary protocol, maybe anti-inflammatory or alkaline or ketogenic or something tailored for immune support or joint health, those often require extra layers, more specific nuances on top of this base.
For sure. Those are more specialized tools. But this P plus C plus F principle, it's almost always compatible. It's the underlying structure. You've got the functional base.
Exactly. So the question for you, listening right now, is probably this. Based on that P plus C plus F golden rule, what's one small but maybe critical pairing adjustment you're going to make in your very next meal or snack? Something to think about.